Hi guys, how you doing? It's Rich with Pit Lane Sim Racing. Hope you're well today. We've got an update for Formula 1 2022. It's update 1.05 and hopefully this is going to bring some improvements that we've all been after since release. I myself have suffered quite a few crashing issues on the PC version, and I've heard similar issues on the PlayStation version as well, but people on the Xbox version that I've spoken to actually seem to have had quite a good ride of it. But let's get into the notes. We've got internal combustion engine wear rate reduced to be less punishing when aggressively downshifting or over revving. I've heard lots of people basically destroying their engines really quick, so that's a very important update just there. Resolved incorrect collision at Jeddah Turn 1. I guess that's some kind of invisible wall. I've not come across that myself, even though I have done a couple of full Grand Prix there since release. Virtual rear mirror visibility setting will now apply correctly. Characters on the podium will now appear correctly. HUD elements will now appear correctly in split screen races. Addressed an issue where the team badge could appear corrupted after a race weekend in my team. Loyalty pack items will now correctly appear in users' inventory. Addressed an issue where using Fanatec load cell pedals would result in reduced frame rate. I've heard this big time. I believe there's some big creators with that issue. I mean, that is so random. That is such... I'm just trying to think how that would specifically hammer your frame rate, but... Updated my team engine supplier durability ratings. This will not affect existing career. Updated fuel amount for Bahrain F1 sprint events. Rain no longer appears within the supercar replays. In the car in supercar replays. Addressed an issue where the race engineer would note a component issue and then immediately state it was resolved. Now look, if anyone played F1 21 enough, that's been around since then, maybe even before. I wonder if that's that issue, because you would get that and then lose all grip and things like that. Adaptive triggers now have correct resistance on PC. Addressed an issue where AI drivers on flying laps could brake and to not pass yielding vehicles. Okay. Addressed an issue when retiring from qualifying 1 or 2, despite having a time to move to the next session, would transition to the race. Yeah, that's quite an issue. Resolved a crash that could occur when joining an in-progress social play lobby. Sponsors can now be correctly applied to the player car. General stability improvements, various minor fixes. I hate those. I hate those little... I always take those in patch notes. Am I the only one that wants to know what the general stability improvements and various minor fixes are? Because sometimes, you know, who gets to decide what a minor fix is? And maybe my stability issue is within the general stability improvements. I want to know what's in there. I actually do. Am I the only one that hates that in patch notes? I really want to know. Addressed a crash when entering a multiplayer lobby in progress. Addressed an issue where the starting grid option could not be modified in multiplayer lobbies. VR. Improved performance when companion screen is set to full screen. Addressed involuntary head movement when braking and accelerating. I'm really glad about that because it shakes all over the place for no reason, or it did. Now, I'm not seeing anything, right, that specifically is on about crashes, which is my issue. But for all I know, it could be in general stability improvements and various minor fixes. I honestly hate that. If you're a game dev, don't do that. It just absolutely sucks. Honestly, it really does. But there you go. What do you think to patch 1.05 for F1 22? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and please don't forget to subscribe and hit that like button. Until next time, guys, take care. See you soon.